This 5 steps to thriving in sales came from episode 343 of the Salesman Podcast with Stephen M.R. Covey. He is a best-selling author and master of all things trust. So take it away, Stephen.
I need to both be trustworthy, which I call credibility, that I have high credibility, and that includes a self-trust, a self-confidence that I'm credible, that it's smart to trust me. So I need to be trustworthy, but I also need to be willing to extend the trust, to give trust. You got to give it to get it. And it's interesting because I've seen two trustworthy people working together, both trustworthy, but no trust in the relationship because neither party is willing to extend it to the other. So to have trust, you need to be both trustworthy, but also you need to be willing to give the trust, to extend the trust. And that's a key part of it. When you give it to another first, or even to your sales manager, which is saying, look, I start with trust. I trust you that you have my best interest in mind and that you're seeking my advancement and my success as I focus on helping my clients succeed, helping my customers succeed. It's just a better starting point until proven otherwise. Now, look, if it's abused, if it's taken advantage of, if the sales manager does not reciprocate back and instead just abuses it, then at some point it may not be smart to continue that way. But I find too often, people start kind of with the premise of distrust, and they tend to become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and people respond back with distrust, and they find themselves mired in a distrustful, suspicious relationship where neither party trusts each other, and they both feel justified in the process. It's often very helpful to just kind of break that cycle and say, look, I choose to take a risk. I start with trust. It's just like a financial bank account. If I take too many withdrawals or too big a withdrawal, I could be overdrawn, right? And there's insufficient funds. Same with the trust account. If I take too many withdrawals, too big a withdrawal, I could be overdrawn. There's insufficient trust in the account. And so in every relationship, there's kind of a level of trust, a balance of trust, a trust account. And we're trying to build that up. And how do we do it? We do it through our behavior and through our credibility. And we behave our way into greater trust. That's like making a deposit. And you're trying to get it higher and higher all the time. And you're right. At some point, if you do a deal together, you make a sale, you not only want to make the sale, more importantly, you also want to build a relationship of trust. Because when you do that, the quality of that sale has just gone up. Your ability to make another sale has just gone up. Your ability to get a referral from that customer has just gone up because they trust you. And then when you create value for them and they see that there's value in the sale, it was a mutually beneficial deal, it was win-win, then they trust you even more. And then it comes back and it becomes a virtuous upward spiral and you keep going up and up and up. I think it's fine to look at it as there's a trust account in a relationship, and you're obviously wanting to constantly be increasing it, growing it, because that will help you navigate difficult times. And you're not trying to drop on the reservoir of trust by violating it, but you're always just trying to build that trust so that when there is something that maybe goes wrong, people give you the benefit of the doubt. The trust bank is there to help in the transition period while they try to understand more, learn more, and work together with you. So I think it's a fair way of looking at it. The trust account, the level of trust in any given relationship. And you're right, there is kind of a Pareto 80-20, but that's more around behaviors. There's certain behaviors that will build trust faster and other behaviors that will destroy trust faster. And getting good at those behaviors like, talking straight, which is telling the truth, and creating transparency, which is telling the truth in a way that people can verify for themselves. And, clarifying expectations, and then practicing accountability, being accountable. Listening first. Listening first is a powerful behavior that builds trust. When people feel understood, they tend to then be more open to your influence. They trust you more. The starting point is the looking in the mirror. That is the starting point versus looking out the window and pointing the finger at everybody else, saying, they're the problem. The prospect's the problem. The customer's the problem. My boss is the problem. It's easy to look out the window at everybody else, but the starting point really is to look in the mirror and ask yourself this question, do I trust myself? And, how credible am I? And so I would say, as you're asking yourself that question, you're looking at both in terms of your character and your competence. And on the character, I'm looking kind of in two dimensions there on the character side. My integrity. And do I do what I say I'm going to do? Do I do the right thing? What's my integrity? Am I honest? Am I truthfulness? But also I'm looking at my intent. What's my intent? Am I just trying to make the sale to make money? Or am I really trying to help my clients succeed? I'm trying to create value for those that I'm serving, those that I'm trying to sell to. I'm focusing on them. Look, I'm not against making money. I want to make money. But I'm thinking in terms of win-win, abundance, mutual benefit. My starting point is I start with saying, I'd like to help you win. And of course, I'd like to win too, but my win comes through your win. I help my client succeed. My intent is to help you succeed.
Hey, hope you enjoyed that one. Click up here to watch another 5 Steps to Thrive in Sales video. Click down here to watch the full interview where all these clips came from.